Hey everyone, it's Ryan Leonard with Wolfnest Property Management, and today we're going to be talking about the ultimate guide to tenant placement. If you're getting into real estate investing, looking at a service that offers tenant placement is something that you may want to look into. Whether you've been doing this yourself for years, or you're just deciding to move out of your current home and turn that into a rental property, one of the hardest things to do is find that good qualified tenant and make sure they're on a great lease agreement as well. So let's take a look at what is tenant placement. So kind of sounds, or it is just like what it sounds, finding a qualified tenant for a investment property. Now, what is included with tenant placement services from a professional management company is really going to differ between different management companies. So when you're looking at tenant placement services, make sure you get a full breakdown of what's included to make sure that it's actually what you need. Now, a big part of the tenant placement is obviously the marketing piece. Having a professional photographer go take photos of the property. Also, not just putting it up on the classifieds or putting a for rent sign in the front yard. You want to make sure that you have a robust marketing campaign. So that may include, having on 30 different websites, having custom blogs written about the property on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, also on the company's website. Those are just some of the things that we like to do at Wolfnest when we're marketing your property. So just make sure that you take a look at what's all included with that marketing piece, because obviously that's a big part of it. Next thing with tenant placement is do not ignore the red flags. It could start off as simple as the prospective tenant's late for a showing, or if you find out things during the credit check pieces or the criminal background check, sex offender registry check, them lying about certain things on their application. Those are all just things that would be considered red flags, and you want to make sure that you don't ignore them. Obviously, vacancy is one of the most expensive parts of owning investment properties, but you don't want to be too quick to have someone move into that property, because there's going to be damage, possibly loss of rent because they can't pay. The list goes on. Big part of that tenant placement is also going to be screening prospective tenants. Now, this is probably one of the most invaluable pieces of that. I know with Wolfnest, we do an 8-step credit and background screening process on anyone over the age of 18. So that's a criminal background check, sex offender registry check, nationwide eviction checks, income verification, employment verification, landlord references checks, the list goes on. So when you're looking at tenant placement services, make sure you ask of, what goes on in that screening process, just to make sure that it is going to be thorough. Another big one too is the checking of references. Now, we only do this if the tenant has rented from someone that is credible, like let's say a management company, or a member of the Utah Apartment Association. Those are great references, because we know that it's legitimate. We can look them up and get their contact information. But if they rented from a DIY owner, they may be able to put their mom, their friend, their dad, and get a glowing review. So obviously you want to make sure that those references are going to be accredited. So again, the list of tenant placement services is pretty vast. I think one of the biggest pieces that wasn't mentioned here in this blog was actually the time, right? Not having to do the tenant screen or the showings, the screening, the information gathering, move-in inspections. All of those things take up time, which is what we only have so much of. So if you're looking at tenant placement services, or are currently with a company that offers it but you're not happy with it, here's our website. Here's my phone number. Reach out to us. I'd be happy to discuss your portfolio and see if we could be a good fit. Thank you.